why should we care, or why should young people care? What is the impact of not repurposing, recycling?
It's your world. It's very important. Future belongs to you, so that we protect this planet.
Are we actually making it worse with the overconsumption?
That's true. Over 250 million people every day sleeps without, food. There are people who are overdoing it.
Hello and welcome to another episode of The Green TV. Hello and welcome to another episode on The Green TV. I am Shruti Sitaraman, a storyteller, content creator, and a sustainability advocate that believes that we should be talking about the changes that we can make every day to live a more sustainable future. And joining me in conversation is Dr. Sitaraman, who is a global leading voice in banking, in green banking, and is a sustainability advocate. So are you ready to talk about something that we all use but don't fully understand? And what I'm dwelling into today is about digital finance and the risks that come with it.
Yeah.
Okay. So the first question that I want to ask you is that, very simply, that we all use UPI or payment apps so frequently, almost daily, almost all the time. What are the risks involved with it, or how safe is it for us to be using it?
That's very safe, but it can be misused. We have seen instances where the IP address, the name, they have misused it, they cloned it. And that's what we need to be alert. The system should find out such anomalies, variances, and throw you. If you're drawing money from a different location, you can get the alert. If you're doing it unauthorized, terminals, it'll tell you. Different gadgets you're coming in, it'll tell you. So there are ways and means of preventing these incidents, but you have to map the risk.
Okay, so basically what you're saying is that my daily transactions are being fully watched by AI?
Absolutely. You are being 100% watched. What you do in terms of digital payments or transactions is completely under scrutiny. Which locations, what time, whether it is real or false. We have to have identity, true identity, know your customer again. It's very important. All these are scrutinized 24/7. Even if you do from different locations, when you travel, you get notified. It sounds with multiple levels of verification and authentication.
That is absolutely insane. But now what I want to ask you about is the instant loan apps that we use. What about that?
You have to be much more careful. World over, regulators, including Reserve Bank of India, they have come out with promulgations which are very, very important, because that's where the misuse of applications. They're clowning the apps, and it looks like real. They do the data gathering. They force you to do the transactions, and they send you messages for you to click, and you're engaging in it. They extract the information, and then they give you solutions, which is all fake. It's the parallel systems. So fake apps are very, very common, and you are giving all the information, and you are done. Your accounts will be emptied in no time. There are many banks and NBFCs have gone into rough weather.
So basically what you're saying is that convenience also comes with its own hidden risks?
Absolutely. See, every convenience has got cost considerations. In terms of risk, it's a measurable opportunity. As long as you measure it, map these risks into business process, and you have security parameters well defined, multiple authentication required for any payment, and then that's a security you have to rely on.
Okay. And now what I want to move into is that, has a situation like this actually arisen? Can you give us some real life examples or situations where this has actually happened?
Well, there are cases where, midnight somebody is drawing the money, it gets deducted. From a different location, it is drawn, the money, you are informed. If you still authenticate, then you are responsible for it. Also, in terms of loan, when the borrowing notification comes to you through OTP, or you have to be conscious that you don't, just like that, endorse those security code.
Yeah.
You have to be mindful of your situation, and then say yes or no with absolute validation.
Yeah, I mean,
So you have controls, but you have to respect the control and act and behave as a responsible citizen.
I mean, there's a standard rule that they say, right? Because there's so much fraud or so much of a cyber risk that happens, especially in Dubai. Usually, when you walk into every bank, they say don't share your OTP with anyone. But I recall this happened when I was in Doha at a point where there was no OTP as a system. Do you remember my credit card being used in a foreign country for, I don't know, some like 20K for like fishing products? And you instantly called me the minute you got a transaction, and I was like, why will I be buying fishing products that do not even here? Thank God for me that I had you available to be my customer service and try and reverse a transaction. And thank God it was
It
a
was in
credit
Doha,
card.
I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah, in Doha. So, I mean, it was also a credit card and not my debit card, which was safer for me to be able to reverse a transaction. But situations like that did arise, as to why I think they started making OTP and verifications a
Even
lot
if,
more
if
important.
there are
and
many
necessary.
senior citizens sharing the OTP, that they will empty
Yeah,
their
don't share
accounts.
your OTP with anyone. Don't trust nobody. Um, be aware, be alert.
Digital way is going to be the only way, right? If that is the case, conscious updating is required, continuing education, whether senior or junior. You have to be aware of it. You know how to use your mobile phone now. Billions of mobile phone is there, and everyone invariably they have their number. Every global citizen has got one number now. If you can use it, adhere to the principle-centered instructions, your money is safe. So don't share the information. The banks will not ask for OTP, right? We know, we are conscious of it. So don't give it to anyone. Full stop. It's between you and only you.
Yeah, fair enough. I think standard rule, don't share your OTP with anyone. Okay, and now switching gears to banks. How do banks decide who gets a loan instantly or not?
They decide in multiple. If we don't have salary slip, is one consumer loan. It depends on the loan, car loan or consumer loan or housing loan. It could be anything. If there are also expenditure patterns, there is also your payment behavior. There are also centralized information net where the regulators show your identity and customer behavior. There is whether you had any default at any point, previous history, transaction history, previous history. They will tell you whether you had, whether you have a good conduct. You can see the patterns, expenditure pattern and your conduct, and then make a call whether it's worth doing it. Even the first timer can get money if you have a good track record and a capacity to repay is measured first.
So what you're saying is that my financial identity now is decided by my digital behavior?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a safer one, I would tell you, because the intelligence in today's context will tell you the full information. At least human beings can forget certain things. Here, there is no emotion. Your track record is listed, analyzed, authenticated, verified, and packaged and given to you in a tablet. Use it.
Okay. And now moving into something more futuristic, I want to talk about blockchain. Is it real or is it a hype?
Absolutely, it's a useful tool world over. It's a distributed ledger, authenticate in every form and substance, trade transaction, treasury transactions. And today, blockchain is everywhere in terms of blockchain plus robotic process automation, blockchain plus AI is very futuristic. So that's a tool when everyone will use trade or treasury. And global banking today is finding extraordinary set of comfort, convenience, and cost efficiency through blockchain. And global transactions, especially international banking, treasury, is making the best use of blockchain. The whole business model is changing in terms of banking. A huge transformation in terms of substance on account of distribution technology, and it is fully authenticated. Security levels are very high, and transparency comes in the trade treasury transactions.
And now moving to something that I think we're all slightly wary about in terms of cybersecurity and hacking.
Yeah.
What do you have to say about that?
Well, when I was running a bank nearly 20 years, people used to ask me, "What's your single most risk?" I always say, I said it in even international channels. Single most risk is cyber risk. Cyber security is the single most risk, because everything is digital in today's context. Even the small configuration, if it is not quality assured, if it is not tested, even ethical hacking is permitted. You have to do it and ensure you map the risk. Cyber risk is a profound, important, I should say, risk, and that risk has to be very professionally measured and managed. And you have to have systems which are sufficient enough to, map the risk in line with the evolutions from the criminals. They reinvent the crimes, so you have to be ready for it, and it's constantly evolving.
Wow. And now I see that even the financial world is not protected enough from deepfakes. It also happens in the finance world. What do you have to say about that?
Of course. There are calls which are clowned, and people remit money. And we have seen instances where senior citizens are getting calls. Also, it all will happen in rapid acceleration, and all are emergency, all are to be done immediately. People succumb to this pressure, especially elder, and the result is a tragedy. They empty their accounts, and we have to be mindful of the challenge, and we have to create awareness.
No, absolutely. I think it happens in cybersecurity is something that happens so commonly in Dubai. I've received calls, not just the elderly.
Around the world. It's not around the world where there is a technology adoption.
We've seen videos of a content creator who's aware of deepfakes, but was convinced. Brainwashing is such a technique that deepfakes use in a way that it doesn't only confine to the elderly, but I think, of course, the elderly are more of a target because they're less tech savvy. Technically, that's what they perceive. So I would only urge for the people who are slightly older, to try and be more aware, but also just be mindful that if you don't know, if you're confused, if you're second guessing, if it is a genuine transaction, if it is a genuine call, if it's a genuine situation, the person is going to understand. So you can always say, "Can I get back to you?" I think that's a solution that we can afford to take. It's okay to not know and to say, "I need a minute to verify." I think verifying everything is the only way I think that we can try and
there is cyber literacy around the world. It's advanced. This kind of crimes are also cropping up. That's where the system will be strong enough. So if you look at the advancement, technology advancement, you will always, that's where crimes are also invented first, because people are having advanced knowledge, right? So it doesn't matter where you operate from. It's global, truly global today. Cyber crimes are truly global, and one has to be ready for the eventuality. And you have to have policies, national policies, and we have a better system. In today's world, regulators are very mindful, whether it is Gulf states or America or Africa or Nigeria or even India or the Asian economies. They are all well equipped now to prevent this.
Yeah. And would you agree with the statement that technology is helping us, but also somehow tricking us?
It's a double-edged sword. You have to believe in it. You can't live without it, and you have to embrace it, and you have to adopt yourself with the instructions which are promulgated by the regulators, so that you protect all the stakeholders.
I agree. I think nothing that makes your life simpler comes very easy or doesn't come without risk. Everything comes with risk, and the newer the technology, the less risk that is assessed. So be mindful and be prepared and keep yourself protected. Which brings me to the next question, which I think we've already answered a little bit. But the question is, how should our generation deal with this, or help protect ourselves, or find a solution to finding the middle ground?
You are in a digital world. Everything is going to be virtual in terms of substance, and aware of the literacy required in terms of equipping your skills through digital advantage. At the same time, be mindful of the challenge you have in terms of risk. Map this risk into your own personal discipline with right initiatives, and keep updating yourself. Continuing education in terms of cyber risk management is a constant requirement.
Yeah, and I think whether we like to accept it or not, we do live in a digital world, right? So I think the only solution should be aware but not afraid.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's what we should be wrapping up this episode with. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to share this with someone if this made you rethink your money habits, your spending habits, or how you use digital apps when it comes to financial transactions. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Stay tuned. We will see you in the next one.
Thank you.
Thank you.